I'm a free man living in Chilcotin. Solitude life on a devoted. Furthermost, all the way out at Wilderness Outpost.
Welcome, wanderers, dreamers, and seekers of the untamed. This is Furthermost Outpost, a wilderness resort nestled against the rugged mountains of British Columbia. Jennifer and Aron had it all, or so the world told them. A comfortable life, careers, and a home with the familiar rhythm of everyday life. But it just wasn't enough. They craved something raw, something real. So they did the unthinkable. They sold everything, packed their essentials, and disappeared into the wilderness, chasing the solitude most only dare to dream of. Join us as we revisit their world a decade later. A world of survival, self-discovery, and a kind of love that thrives not in the glow of city lights, but beneath the canopy of 1,000 stars. The wilderness tested, shaped, and marked them, and they thrived so completely that their story was featured on Season 12 of History Channel's Mountain Men. A testament to their fortitude and self-reliance, they built off the grid. This is their story, and if you've ever felt the call of the wild, maybe it's a little bit yours too. Subscribe now and step off the map into Furthermost Outpost.
Ooh, I'm a mountain man at heart. I'm a gobbler with any part. I can build, I can fix any problem. Mistakes got a wife just as smart.
Welcome to Furthermost Outpost. I'm Aron, and this is my wife Jennifer.
Hi.
So what are we talking about today?
Maybe like identity transformation through wilderness living?
Becoming remote backcountry people?
Yeah.
Becoming a mountain man and a wilderness woman?
Yeah, there you go. There's, a lot of things people wonder about, all the changes that you go through.
Yes. It happens over time.
It does take years.
And you're constantly changing. Especially when we came from such a different lifestyle.
Yeah, the fast-paced city life, right?
Exactly.
It's much more laid back here. And I found when we first came out and started visiting random resorts and we were looking for this kind of lifestyle, I remembered the feeling of coming out of such a fast-paced city life where I was multitasking and doing like 100 things all at once. Talking to those resort owners, how laid back they were. And I kept thinking, how do they do that? Do you actually slow down so much out here that life just, you just all of a sudden have all this time?
But it's not that we slow down. We've become more relaxed.
Yes, that's the key, obviously. But at the time, we had no idea. We just thought, oh, imagine if these people were still multitasker, all the work they could get done. Because things took so long, it actually made me impatient when I visited those places because I was, go, let's come on, right? Like
Yes.
Everything seemed to take forever when people were doing things and I didn't understand, but I do now.
Absolutely.
You kind of have to live by the code of the wilderness, what it's doing. And we learned that the hard way.
We found that, you still have the same amount of hours in a day, and there are so many tasks you need to do in a single day.
But a lot of times we live with the daylight now, and we work around the weather, so that's all different.
Exactly. You don't get up, in the dark and head to work because that's what you have to do.
Yes, there is headlamps for that if we have to do certain things.
Well, there are certain things that we still have to do in the dark, when things get...
Just basic chores.
Yeah. When the days get shorter.
Well, we don't go out and work in a snowstorm or in a heavy rainfall or in a windstorm. You stop and you do other things at those times.
It's not like we can go out and build in a rainstorm or snowstorm.
Yeah, like the difference from the city is, you'd get up and go to work. Even at the golf course, if it was raining all day, I still had to go to the golf course, answer the phones, book tea times for other days. There was all kinds of things you had to do at work, no matter what the weather was doing. But out here,
That's right.
It's totally different. You have to change your whole course of, okay, now it's raining. So what projects do I have to do in the cabin or do I have to sew today or mend some clothes, or sometimes we just play games and
Sometimes we do. Sometimes we reorganize the whole cabin.
there's a lot of things that you can do on days like that. And we've learned to adjust life that way. So we literally work around the weather and the year, time of year.
Yes. And we don't have to have a strict timeline on everything we do.
Yeah. And if it doesn't get done that day, it doesn't get done that day. There's no punching clocks and you don't even know what time it is. You eat when you get hungry. Sometimes we come in and it's already 2:00 and we've missed lunch, but it doesn't matter.
That's right. Because we come in when we're ready, not when the time tells you to come in.
Right. So how did your mindset change from city living to off-grid, self-reliant living?
It was quite difficult at first. The fact that I've been self-driven because of having a business, that I had to do certain things every day, all the time. I had to cater to those people and have their vehicle fixed because I promised it would be done today. I'd look at it, at a certain time.
Yeah, the parts had to be ordered. You were waiting for things to come in. You had lineups of vehicles categorized on what.
Oh yeah, I diagnose one vehicle, work on another, wait for parts for another one.
Answer phones and diagnose and book people and
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was
The multitasking thing that we're talking about. When you first move out here, it's all of a sudden like you hit a wall, slam, bang, it stops, and you go, what do I do now?
and you're always looking for something to do.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I got to get it done. I got to get something done.
Because we have that driven into us. We're very determined people
Yes.
and we need a routine. So I find the best thing that we did with our times is we created routines. And do you remember how when we felt like the days were blending in and there was we didn't know if it was Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday or what time it was. So we had to create things like Wing Wednesday because we always went for wings. So we would have our wing night on Wednesday
Yes.
and we would still do our steak dinner Sundays. So at least we knew those 2 days of the week and it kind of made the week feel more like a week.
It felt like it made it more normal.
Well, for us.
For us, for the way we do things.
Yes, it kind of gave us that schedule.
Yes. But I still feel I have to accomplish so many tasks through the day.
To make you feel satisfied with that you've spent your time wisely.
That's right. And that I've actually, I'm moving forward, not...
It's self-satisfaction, right? Gratification that you are working towards something. We set goals.
It is, but there's a lot of things that have to be done around here.
But that's what we have those lists for, right?
Absolutely.
And we didn't really have those in the city. We had a grocery list, but we didn't have a to-do list, really, because we didn't have time to work on a to-do list.
No, because work always came first.
Yes. So we have priority lists now of what has to be done.
Yes. In a season, not in a day. There are so many smaller tasks still that need to be done, but it's all basically seasonally.
Yeah. Yeah, it totally changes from city thinking and the whole different concept there and the things you deal with there are totally different than out here. And you have to actually change more than people realize. For me, I had to become less wasteful. I had to change my mindset on the travel, the wear and tear, the expense. And because now there's no paycheck, right? There's no regular paycheck like your job where you got paid weekly or bi-weekly or whatever it was. That's gone. Being less wasteful for me was huge. If something was on its way out or past its expiry date, there was no question. It just got tossed.
Yes, you don't just throw something out because, I'm not going to use this for a while. For me, for doing projects, I have a scrap metal pile.
Yeah.
That you don't throw anything away because you could use that in an emergency to fix something else.
Yes, absolutely. And you You know, it's funny that you say this because it reminds me of your dad on the farm, the old farm in Northern Ontario. You used to be on him about collecting baling wire or
Binder
string or
twine.
binder twine and even nails. He would hammer out crooked nails. Remember he had a bucket of nails?
Oh, he had buckets and buckets of crooked nails.
But now maybe you understand your dad a bit more.
I have buckets and buckets of straightened crooked nails.
Oh, there you go. See? And you save things. Like now you save things like towing straps or
Ratchet straps. Oh,
you collect all kinds of stuff like that now.
Oh, even
right?
the broken ones. Because, one might break. I need a spare part.
Yeah.
I could always tie two ends together.
So in essence, you kind of became your father in a way in that sense, because back then in your dad's day.
Well, he went through the Depression.
Well, he was born in 1914, I think.
Yes.
So in his era, you saved things like that, where people aren't like that anymore. We're so wasteful as a society and as a species. But moving off the grid changes that. Makes a difference on how far we've moved off the grid. Because if we were just off the grid but still 5 minutes from a town or 10, we might be a lot more wasteful.
It wouldn't have changed a lot.
Yes.
But because we are so far out, it's literally months at a time before I go to town.
We save containers and jars and all kinds of little tidbitty things that we never would have saved before. I saved twist ties and you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
We save things and we reuse them, we repurpose them, and we figure out things to do with them that we never would have before.
Pretty lucky that I had the automotive shop and I didn't sell the business. I shut it down. I brought tons of tools with me. If you don't have them, you can't do the repair.
So our mindset changed more as it's like almost getting back into that prepper thing where we
knew we would need these.
Yeah.
But we didn't realize how much. When something breaks down, I have spares. I just came back from a long supply run and I had to get 2 brand new trailer springs just for the next time that they break.
Mm-hmm.
Because if that happens and I don't have a spare, that trailer's going to sit wherever it's broken down until I go back to town again.
So your mindset changes in that way too, as you're more
mindful of how you travel.
And what you'll need in the future in case to save on being stranded out here, for one. The mindset really changes.
Yes.
It determines even what we eat out here. So when you do that supply run, like you were just saying, whatever was still in the freezer and in the fridges, we end up using those things before you get to eat the new things or the fresher things.
So you're not actually ever eating something really fresh.
Right, unless it's ice cream.
Or vegetables.
True.
So yeah, you're always turning over the freezer, the fridge, eating the oldest first.
And that gets back to not being so wasteful like we were in the city where you just threw things away. Out here, it's okay, the bottom of the freezer, we have these roasts from last year. These are priority now. They get moved to the top. Those get eaten before the stuff we just bought. And we cycle through everything that way. And because we have a wood stove now, in the winter, it's so much easier to cook on top of, where I didn't have that in the city before. So I can just throw stuff on top of the wood stove, let it simmer all day, and that's kind of changed my mindset. Everything I cook with is different.
Yeah. You're always prepping for the next meal hours ahead of time.
Yeah, and I do aim for leftovers. I know we weren't a fan of that in the city, but now you understand. And the rule that we have with leftovers is they have to be made into something else the next day so that they don't...
Something different.
Different, so you don't even know you're eating leftovers. Yes. And I'm very good at that. So
you're fantastic at that.
Okay, perfect. Well, it helps me feel like we're not being wasteful. And that is how my mindset has changed more than anything.
Mine has changed considerably. When I'm in town, I go check out thrift stores now.
And I'm so jealous that you do that without me. How could you?
I used to hate going to thrift stores.
I know, because you had the mindset of you had to have that $300 shirt.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
now you're buying those clothes. Why? It's because you work so hard out here and you wear them down so fast.
I go through clothes so fast, it's unbelievable.
And we never did that in the city. In the city, there's another wasteful thing. You had to wear a different clothes every day, sometimes twice a day. Where'd those clothes go after? And they weren't even dirty. You threw them right in the wash.
Yes.
So you were doing loads of laundry a week for all these clothes you wore that you never did anything to get really dirty in them. I'm not talking about you because you're a mechanic and you were always dirty. I'm talking about our city clothes, your going out clothes.
Yes.
For me, I changed twice a day, at least. Working at the golf course, I had my uniform and then I had home clothes.
Oh, there was special clothes
And
just
then you
to
went
go
out
golfing with.
Yeah, and then you went out for dinner and you had another set of clothes.
That's
You
right.
changed all the time and you were so wasteful that way.
Yes.
Our clothes never wore out, but what did we do with them? When you thought, I think it might be wearing a hole right here, or it's faded, or whatever it was, or a stain on it, you
Just toss them.
tossed it or brought it to a thrift store yourself.
Yeah.
But you never wore clothes out where you wore the knees out of something, because that's what we do out here. I wear the elbows out of my shirts.
Yeah. Now my work pants have to have multiple holes and rips and tears. My shirts are half missing by the time I turn them into rags now.
I know, but you can do that in like 2 days to a new shirt.
I
I've seen you do that.
It's because I'm working with a lot of branches and I'm throwing into the fire. Something catches them and rips them. And
Yeah.
there's always something like that.
It's funny, I don't think you've ever torn any clothes with an actual chainsaw or a saw or any kind of tool. They've always been by rubbing on a branch or a log or a tree.
Well, here's an example. The boots I wear for doing fire mitigation or firewood,
Your muck boots?
my muck boots, I would get holes in them because I'm tromping through the bush and getting them caught on branches and snags and logs.
You're talking about the neoprene sides, right?
With the neoprene sides, yes. Now I've come up with a fix for that. I get gaiters, and I put gaiters on my boots, and that protects the boots from being ripped up. And now the boots last me
A couple years.
at least a couple of years now.
They should last you a couple years, but out here, do you remember in the city, you had a pair of boots, they would last you years because you never wore them. Really, we would get snow in Kelowna not very often. After 5 seasons, they would still look brand new. But out here, you wear a pair of boots for a season, and I mean, they are almost destroyed because you're so hard on them.
Well, now how I wear boots out is, mind you, I have to replace the insoles regularly. My treads on the bottom of the boot literally wear down to nothing.
I know, and we've never, ever wore out the treads on boots. Like, this is crazy. It's amazing how different the lifestyle is out here and how you use things.
Yes.
And you have to buy the best because it needs to last the longest.
That is one thing I recommend to anybody. If you're doing this lifestyle, don't go out and buy the cheap stuff.
Yes, because you'll be buying it over and over
Buy
and over.
the best you can and make it last.
And for me, when I do that, I just read the reviews. Reviews are so important if you're buying anything, because people like us that do a lot of reviews will tell you.
Yes.
If it's not going to last, we put it out there.
Oh, exactly. And you figure out what are the best boots, what's the best clothing, best gloves.
Oh, I know. You do go through a lot of gloves, right?
Goat skin lasts much longer than cowhide
Or deer.
or even deer hide. That's the
because deer's a
softest.
little too soft. Yeah, the goat was one of the best, and we've tested it all out. And this is actually a good question for the viewers and for anyone listening. If you have any suggestions on something that you have found that lasts longer than anything else, put it in the comments. We'd love to hear about it. If you also have something you want us to try out to see how long it lasts, let us know.
Yes.
So what does being self-reliant, off-grid, how somebody might say you're mountain people now or wilderness folks, what does that mean to you?
I wear it like a badge of honor because living out here is what people dream of doing.
I love
So
that you say you wear it
eccentric.
with a badge of honor. Well, you are a mountain man. Yes, and I think the off-grid title comes with more freedom.
It does.
We are in control of our own destiny.
But you're also accountable for everything you do, not to others, but to yourself and your lifestyle.
Out here, there's a code in the forest. You treat the forest and Mother Nature and God and all of the creation. You treat it with respect.
You become part of nature. You don't come into it as an opposition. You become nature.
Yes.
A part of it. And you live with nature, not opposed to it. So that's something that you do learn after time and accept and cherish.
It's simplicity. The appreciation for a simpler life. The essential needs for surviving and your well-being. It fosters a deep sense of independence and your own capabilities.
Yes. You become so much more confident with what you do and how you do it. So what have you learned about yourself?
For me, I had to learn to be patient. I had to learn to let things go and
Yes.
not be so
Wound up.
and impatient,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
But patience for me was huge because I'm a very impatient person. I want results now.
You were.
Okay, I was.
Yes.
I'm getting better, and it's been a decade, and I do have a lot more patience now. I actually, if you want to talk about even if we're going to dive into what rituals have changed me or what rituals I have now during the day that I adopted that I didn't have before because of my non-patience, I now watch the sunrise, watch the sunset. I take that time. I go sit outside with my coffee in my chair on the dock, and I watch that sunrise with my dogs. It is probably the best thing in life is to watch that sunrise. Those colors all come out into the sky and reflect across the lake. It is a canvas of art every day. It's different every day.
So you've stopped to smell the flowers.
Yes. Or watch the sunrise and sunsets.
Yes.
But to me, that's a huge thing. I never took the time in the city to sit and watch a sunrise or sunset. You were too busy.
That's right.
You were too busy. Sometimes you'd be like, oh, it's dark now, the sunset. Oh, when did that happen? I was too busy. I was doing this or that. You don't even know what happened, and you didn't care. Just the city lights came on, and you just kept going.
Yes.
Now out here, the sun's setting. Oh, I better go do these few chores that I need daylight to do, and then I'm going to run back, and I'm going to watch that sun set into the lake and turn orange and pink and red.
And that's how you've gotten so many beautiful photos.
I know.
And videos.
Yes.
Yes.
But also, that is how my relationship with nature has evolved and changed. I've learned patience to do these things. That's why we're out here, right? To stop and observe, notice your surroundings, and
Absolutely.
pay attention to every little thing. I know the things I know out here now about nature are things that I would never have learned in the city. I now know every call of a loon, the tremolos to the hoots, and I can communicate with a loon. I can call back to it in its own distinctive calls, and I never knew that living in the city. I know every behavior about that loon and what to expect.
Yes.
Its feeding habits, its nesting habits, everything. And I know that about every single animal that lives out here. I've learned for the sake of that species to know as much as I can about it so that I can live amongst it and still cohabitate with that animal and not be a threat to it. You know what I mean? So it has more of a peaceful life here and not feel threatened with us here. But I find learning about every single different animal is just the thing that you should do. It's like a code of ethics, a responsibility to the person living in the forest. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. To understand the nature around you. This is where you live now. So you have to understand your surroundings. And it needs to flow, through you and with you, and you have to flow with it, and you become part of the nature you're in. And that is peaceful and well-being all in itself.
The coexistence.
Exactly.
Being true keepers of the land.
There are certain things that you just don't upset. Try to change just for the sake of change.
And in our footprint, we usually try to live with a very minimal footprint. We are definitely much more aware of what we use, how we use it, and how we even dispose of it. I think we pick up more litter on these trails out here.
We clean up all that sort of stuff around us.
You pack out what you pack in.
Yeah, if you can carry it in, you can carry it out.
Your hobby is...
It's on repairs and maintenance, and there's always some of that to do. So that's what occupies my time now. I don't have to invent hobbies, things like that, to occupy my time.
There's not enough time to really have a hobby out here. No, and when you come in from doing all these things outside, what is it that you make me do at lunchtime?
While we're having lunch,
And that's not really a hobby, but it's a game. It kind of is an unwinding thing, right?
we play some card games.
We'll play a game of crib.
And one that was introduced to us, that Farkle,
Yes, the dice game.
the dice game.
Yeah.
We enjoy that. But we play
That was...
while we're having lunch and then carry on with our day.
Yeah.
It's not like we purposely put time aside
Mm-hmm.
to play games.
Our camera crew from Mountain Men brought that Farkle game out, and we got hooked ever since.
Yes, thank you, Jordan. What's your version how we spend time now? Deal with time.
Time. Well, we don't spring ahead or fall back. We never change our clocks because that would just screw up the chickens and the dogs, and why do that? We
Well-
live with the sunrise and sunset.
So our relationship with time has totally changed. Time is not something that you keep anymore.
Well, I think we know we have all this time in the evening when it gets dark, and then it depends on what season it is. In June,
Yes.
you can still be working outside without a flashlight at 11 o'clock at night.
For me, if I have something to do and it's light, I take advantage of it and just
Yeah.
try to get done as much as I can for that
Mhm.
day. I try to make a point. Okay, I have a project, say, rechink a cabin, put on a roof. I want to get that done in a very timely manner, let's say, which usually takes a few days. So when I get onto something like that, I work at it steady till it's done and then move on.
Yeah, you'll come in for dinner and we'll have a quick dinner and go out. There's no playing games or things. Maybe for lunch. Lunch is our only thing that we usually take the extra time to play a game, resync. And if you end up losing twice, you usually make me play a third time till you win, and then you go back outside.
Well, you got to have best 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 5.
And then it ends up being an hour of playing games because you want to play 3 out of 5. We end up doing as much as we can during the day with the daylight hours. And then once that darkness hits, we know we have all kinds of time. We have 7 hours from 5 o'clock to whenever we go to bed. So that gives us all that more time to do, all of those leisurely things or have a longer dinner. You have a lot more time to spend in the cabin. But depending on the weather outside, sometimes we're out at a bonfire still burning till 11 at night because we can do that by headlamps. And then sitting around a fire is one of our favorite things to do.
Oh, through the winter, I have fire piles going.
Your fire mitigation.
My fire mitigation. What I'm doing is I'm burning all the dead underbrush, dead trees, logs down, anything that's not usable, because if something is usable, I could either use it for firewood or I can mill it into lumber. If I can't do that, or there are a lot of trees that are down, I cut for making log pole fencing.
Mhm.
So,
And then your slabs, all the slabs that you've set aside for when you're milling, all of those get piled. They're perfect Jenga piles.
because category 2 fires are 3 meters by 3 meters by 2 meters tall.
Yeah, and so you know that right off by heart.
Well, yes. So I build my stacks slightly under that.
Your little, I call them OCD stacks because they literally are. I have never seen another wilderness off-grid person stack lumber and wood like that to burn it. People just throw it in a pile and light it on fire. But anyway, that's part of the OCD thing that it's kind of a good thing in a way that you're still like that. We need a little bit of that even in the cabin. I am the person that cleans things, but I hate organizing.
I'm the one who organizes, yes.
And that's why we make a good team.
We do. We make an excellent team.
And I don't ever get to see the top of a fridge because I'm so short. So that's your job to clean that.
Yes.
There. See?
So
We're compatible that way.
we fit together perfectly.
Yes. I like to think so. What does freedom mean to you now that we live off the grid versus how it would have been in the city?
Freedom now is living the way we want to, making the choices that we can out here that are so different than living in the city.
Well, what does freedom mean in a city? What did we think freedom meant when we were in the city?
Well, freedom in the city, you're governed by so many different rules, people's opinions. And that's disabling on its own, to have to live by other people's opinions. Not standards, because there are standards everybody has to live by, even out here. But it was more of, living to satisfy other people. Out here, we live for ourselves. I live to satisfy you, and I hope for you to satisfy me.
Okay. I don't know what you're talking about there. It kind of sounds like you're getting kinky. I don't know.
Well, sometimes it is.
Hey, this is PG. This is PG.
Out here, we live to keep each other happy. I do everything around here to make you happy. In a way that when I do a project, I get your opinion. You want a greenhouse built a certain way, and I will do everything in my power to make you happy.
Yeah, but that's how we work together. I design it, you're the architect, and you're the builder. So we work together in that way. But I understand what you're saying is that you value my opinion, and our whole coexistence out here is just to make each other happy. I'm always striving to make you happy, just the same way when I make you a meal. Is it good? Do you like it? Did I excel at it? Did I meet your expectations? It's all the same thing when you do something.
See, and our freedom out here is to be able to do that for each other.
Yes. Because we don't want to enjoy it with anyone else. We're here for each other.
Yes. And that's freedom out here is for that. We're married. So we are two separate people with one spirit.
And there's nothing more that I want to do than to share those experiences and those moments with you. Like never before. I don't want to go out and do anything unless you're there to experience it with me. I don't feel like it was really worth that whole experience because you weren't there.
So freedom now is you and I living it, not just dreaming of it anymore.
Aw, I love that.
It's just you and me, baby.
Well, I think that gives everyone enough to see how we have become mountain wilderness people or whatever you want to call us. I don't even know how to label it at this point. I just know that we're off grid, we're happy, and this is how we have changed, and this is how we recognize ourselves changing and each other changing. And I think it's all been for the better. There's nothing about it that has been negative.
No. I don't think there's been anything negative about this lifestyle. Hard work, but that's not a negative thing.
No.
Hard work is actually a good thing. Once you do it, you realize that hard work is a very good thing.
Well, it's good for you. And I think that this move that we made and becoming outdoor people, wilderness people, I don't know what took us so long to do it in the first place because of how much I have changed who I was and who I am now. Anyone that's health conscious is going to only see this lifestyle as a bonus.
Oh, absolutely.
So when you wrap all of that up together, everything we've talked about, I don't know what took us so long to realize that the life we were living in a city was terrible compared to what we're living now. But the mindset of people now, they think that what they're doing in the city is okay and they don't see anything wrong with it because it's normal. You're stuck in that bubble of you think it's all good and normal and that's what you're supposed to do. You're civilized people now. You should be in a civilization, right?
But it's not healthy. It's not how humans were
meant to live.
Met or designed to live.
In a concrete city.
Exactly. Living out here over the years has brought me very close to God. You're more open to
a creator.
Out here you're you realize that we are a creation and everything around us is a creation, not an evolution.
Well, on that note, the sun is going down and we got a lot of chores to get out there and do. The chickens, I know, are running on impatient. Gotta go collect those eggs so that we can have breakfast tomorrow.
Yes. And I have several jobs I got to finish up before things get too dark.
There you go.
So
Maybe we should go light something on fire.
Absolutely. Let's do that.
Yes.
So we can spend more time outside this evening.
And we can help lighten up some of that dark.
Sounds good.
Thanks for tuning in, and we will catch you on next week's episode.
Hope you enjoyed it. Maybe got something out of it.
We'll be posting another song that we've actually created. We will put that right on our Spotify. Actually, we'll just end the podcast with the song.
Give it a listen. I think it's pretty excellent.
It's pretty catchy. I have to say, it's pretty catchy.
Forget to go where rivers speak and cold winds blow. Moving beyond measured clocks, a whisper lost in granite rocks. My ride knows every canyon bend, and silence is my only friend. The sky of stone made fire from roots and bone. I don't wear gold, I wear the dust, and I don't bleed unless I must. Where the iron meets the pine, that's the ridge I wanna climb. Where the clouds brush mountain stone, I stand a little less alone. That's where I'll stay. For timber trails, my laws are carved in bark and nails. I don't need maps, I read the stars, and I don't mend what's meant to scar.